be completed or a backlog is your first mistake, you kind of got to set the mood, man. Cyberpunk has been in my catalog for how many years now, and I've yet to complete it, and I just got the DLC. Prior to me playing this game, to put me in a mood, I might watch Ghost in the Shell primarily because I want to set the tone, enjoy the themes. You understand what I'm saying? And that puts me in a mood. You gotta set the mood, man. Or it's a little bit on the nose, but I might watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and get into the lore a little bit more, the world a little more. And this will help promote and encourage me to go play that particular game because I'm feeling in the mood for that particular genre. You understand? Perhaps to get my mood in ready for Crimson Desert, which is a big game, I might go watch me some House of Dragons. Do you know what I mean? Because of the tour, the lore, and there's dragons, just to kind of get me in a mood for it. The point being, we have a plethora of games at our fingertips that we can choose to dip in and out of at any one time. I mean, I recently heard that because of the film The Odyssey came out recently, there's a lot of people going into the Odyssey, and correctly so. You know what I mean? Because they would have watched the film, they love the lore, they love the world, so they go and play it. Now I might choose to do that as a result of just being in that world. Okay, so the point being is that we have all of these games in our libraries at our fingertips, and to look at them as a backlog, I think is a mistake because you're already telling your brain it's work. It's work. And playing games is not work. It's a vacation, it's a joy, it's a hobby. Yeah. But you have to set the tone, you have to set the mood for it. Yeah. And you gotta you gotta wanna play these games. Now, I do think if I just watched a horror movie or something like that, I might go for Silent Hill. I might go for Resident Evil. Do you know what I mean? Especially I'm used to play a lot of Resident Evil after like watching Walking Dead. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the world we now live in, and I think we need to set the tone, set the mood. If unless you're one of those guys that are just like, yeah, wham bam, and then thank you. But me, I set tone in it. I set the mood. Yeah, I like atmosphere. It helps me put in that extra bit of work. You know what I mean? Yeah, what I'm saying without me saying it. So rather than looking at like the library of games that we have as a backlog or a problem to be addressed, I mean, look at that. Escape the Back Rooms. And I'm pretty sure there's a film called Back Rooms. Yeah? Come on, man. Yeah, Far Cry. Like, there's so many at our fingertips that we could just say, yeah, I mean, you might watch Fast and Furious and then say, you know what? I'm going to play Forza Horizon. You know what I mean? You might, what else is there? James Bond. You might say, let me go put on some 007. Grounded, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. You might drop yourself on some Halo. Yeah, Hellblade. Like Hogwarts, you might be going through the Harry Potter series with your family, your little ones. You think, you know what, I fancy some of that. Yeah. There's games for the moves. That's the whole point, everybody. And if the moment we start looking at it like a look at Kingdom Come Deliverance, yeah, I'm yet to go into that, but I know for a fact I might say, again, whether it's House of Dragons, Game of Thrones, or I might even just take on some next ish to go and address it. Star Wars, don't get me started. Yeah, so many games at our fingertips, and we dare moaning. That's first world problems in a nutshell. Yeah, you might say, right, you might into your sports, you might halftime or in the pre whatever. Just put something on. Yeah. Look at that. Just games, man. Games. Yeah. You have to kind of set the mood so that it has as an extra impetus for you to enjoy the game. And if you connect the two in your brain, to say, okay, that after this I'm gonna watch that, you're more likely to turn on the pad and say, rather than just scrolling through like games and thinking which one, you're more likely to say, right, I'm gonna go play this and just deal with it. Deal with it rather than playing it for a little while and then just never going back to it. Because that's the other problem. You start up games and then you just find yourself in a situation where you never really commit and you just turned it on as just to say you've played a game. Set the tone. Always better to set the tone, set the mood, and then play the game. And you'll find there's a little bit more impetus to get to see it done and enjoy it. All right, my 2 pence. Let me know what you think. Boom.